Hardest champion to play against? It really depends on who I'm playing against. In general, I really despise the wall hack, Visor's ability, because there's just no skill in it for the most part. And it's just lame, you know, like wall hacking in a competitive 1 versus 1 arena shooter game. It just shouldn't be a thing, in my opinion. Or at least it should be nerfed, like for example the way they did Bloodhound in Apex. Now they changed it to be more like it is in Quake, but in the beginning Bloodhound's ability gave away the opponent's position, but not constantly for 6 seconds. That's just too much, man. Or is it 5? Even so, it's too much. It should be like 2, maximum 3 seconds, because like this is just, I mean, it's all hacking. And then Nyx can be frustrating, but she's a cool champ and I'm okay with playing against her. But some of the champions, yeah, like for example, if I'm Death Knight and I don't really have means to chase her because I'm not faster, I cannot do those wall jumps and I cannot go invis. Only thing I can do is like set her on fire, but then she goes invis and then what was the point, you know? So, you know, it depends on what champion I'm playing. I like playing against Clutch because I know how difficult it is to play Clutch properly, and you're gonna get hit by every fucking thing. Even if it's like shotgun from mid-range, it can deal up to like 100 damage on you. Just because you're so huge, you eat everything. And so playing against the Clutch for me is fun, because I know the struggle and I know if they fuck up, they're gonna be caught and then they're gonna be pinned by LG, by shotgun, by nailgun, by machine gun. So playing against Clutch, I actually like that. Only Clutch I didn't like playing against was Wenger's, but to be fair, he was using mouse wheel to dash as Clutch, and that gave him an opportunity, like not an opportunity, a what's the word? Advantage in a way. But that is now not allowed in QPL, so you can no longer bind the mouse wheel for dashing as Clutch, and so that way Wenger got a little bit nerfed. His Clutch is not as strong anymore, and there aren't many Clutch players, maybe Hron, at least in EU. Not many people play Clutch. So, you know, it's very rare that I get to play against someone who's playing Clutch. But I do love it, because when I get to play against Clutch, I can like punish people the way they do it against me when I try to play Clutch, and it's really fucking difficult. People say, oh, Clutch has like so much stack and then the shield and it's like he's so fast, but playing him is really difficult. You get stuck in everything, you get pinned by machine gun, by LG, you eat all the nail, you get like minus 100 health with shotgun, it's very easy to rail you. A simple rocket can bounce you in a way that you get stuck in a corner or in the door frame. So I love playing against Clutch. I like playing against SCALEBEARER as well, easy to hit. Ranger is annoying, so I really dislike Ranger's ability, the way he can just teleport into you and then it deals so much fucking damage, and you can't really avoid it because the orb comes at you so fast, and even if it's not directly inside you but just next to you, close to you, but not even like right next to you but just close to you, it still does damage. And then, you know, the fact that he can like insta teleport to wherever he throws the orb is dumb, because you can use it to like aggro on people and deal massive amounts of burst damage. Just imagine that you're camping a corner, you have a shotgun in your hand, and then you point blank your opponent, 120 damage, and then you throw the orb at him. I think it deals like 25 damage if it hits him, and then you teleport into him, another 125-ish damage, so altogether the orb deals 150 damage. Previously you dealt the point blank 120 with the shotgun, that's already 270, and then right after you teleport into him, you're right in his face, so you can potentially point blank him again with the shotgun, another 120 damage. And that's just such a huge, massive burst damage. And people in Pro League, they often play that way, and it's just frustrating, because there's nothing you can do about it. Even if you are in control, even if you are cautious, the orb cannot be avoided. Once it's being thrown away, you cannot stop it. And if he teleports close to you, then the orb deals damage, then the point blank, then the rocket, and whatever. It's just, there's no way for you to deny it, to escape from it, if you are caught in like an unfortunate moment. So I really despise the way it is. I think they should put a delay on it, so that when you throw it away, you cannot teleport to it instantly, but like you have to wait like a second, because that way people wouldn't be using it like close range around corners to deal burst damage, but instead people would be using it for positioning, which it should be used for. You know, that would be like the clever way to use it instead of this retarded in your face bullshit. And then, you know, if you actually get to teleport into someone with that 1 second delay, then it's calculated. So that's like smart, and skill is required for that, instead of this right away teleport in your face stupidity. So I would really like if they did that. Yeah, in that regard, I dislike playing against Ranger. Other than that, he would be a fun champion. All they have to do basically is to make a delay between when you throw away the orb and you teleport to it. Like, just make a small delay so you cannot do it instantly. And then Ranger is a perfectly fine champion that I would be very happy to play against. You know, it would be really well balanced and all that. Visor, the way it is with his wallhack at the moment, unenjoyable, bullshit, retarded, not skillful at all. In a competitive game, wallhacking as an ability, it's like, maybe like in Overwatch it works, maybe in Apex Legends when you're playing Bloodhound it works, but in a small arena shooter game, like small map arena shooter game, it's just bullshit, especially for 6 seconds. That's just way too long anyway. And then Athena, I don't like playing as Athena because she is just too squishy. So Athena is too squishy in my opinion, and she would be fun if she was like a medium champ, but with like 2 hooks instead of 3, so that you cannot like continuously use it, because that way she's a little bit too mobile, especially on certain maps like DM6. And so yet again, instead of spamming it, that doesn't really require much skill, you'd have to be like cautiously using it and calculate when you can use it and when you should use it and when you should save it for later. So I would say if they made her a medium champ so that her starting stack is better, so she's not so squishy anymore, and then on top of that they changed it so instead of 3 hooks she would have like 2 hooks, I think that would be way better. Slash is okay to play against, and I don't really mind her speed either, because she's squishy, so if you just play carefully against her, it's not too bad. I personally can't really play her well at all, because I suck at crouch sliding, and I never played her, so nowadays every now and then I give her a try, just to see what it's like to try playing as her, but I'm just bad with Slash. But a lot of people enjoy playing as Slash, so, you know, I'm okay with the way she's at the moment. Anarchy is also fine. Galena. Alright, well, Galena would be okay, but I think they should remove her passive so that when she picks up health bubbles or mega health, it shouldn't reduce her cooldown, because that way it's just too easy to build up totems and get to overheal. So I think they should remove the passive. Other than that, my biggest issue with Galena is when you put down the totem yourself, you can shoot through it, so it's not a solid object. You cannot jump on it, so it's not a solid object. But when an enemy shoots at it, it's like explodes, like the rocket explodes on it. So you like, for the enemy it is solid, you cannot shoot through it, but for yourself you can shoot through it. So my issue with this is that it's like when you're shooting at a totem with like rocket, it should go through, like the rail goes through, instead of like blowing up on it, because that way it blocks incoming damage. So if I play Galena and I'm in a fight and I put the totem in front of me and the opponent shoots at me with the rocket, then the totem in front of me will block all the incoming damage, and I'll be safe. I won't lose HP. But meanwhile, I can deal damage on him, and that's really annoying. And in the heat of the fight, when you just randomly try to like when you're fighting against the Galena and she just randomly puts down a totem and you somehow hit it with your rocket, it completely fucks up everything about that fight for you. It like messes up your aim, and if the totem was close to you, you might like bump yourself away like a splash damage with your own rocket, and it bounces your way and it fucks up your aim and all that. It's just annoying. I think you should be able to shoot through the totems. And then BJ is okay. I like the way he is now. The damage output is also fine with dual wield. Sometimes it feels a little bit wonky when you activate the ability, and then like when can you shoot, you know, it feels a little bit wonky with like railgun, like how fast can you shoot. And but like shotgun is okay, rockets are okay. Nailgun is a little bit strong if you dual wield with nailgun. Also the heavy machine gun, but like LG damage is okay for BJ when you're dual wielding. Doom is fun, Doom is okay. Oh fuck me, that's loud. But the punch is like annoying, because if you play Doom and you try to punch your opponent, sometimes you go like circles around your opponent and you go into like Superman mode instead of like punching him, and that's just retarded. Sometimes it happens, other times you don't go into Superman mode and you actually get to punch your opponent like you intend to. Other times you fly away like a retard. Fuck if I know how it works. And if you play against the Doom, then it's also annoying, because on your screen Doom is like so fucking far away from you and you get hit by him still. So it's just like out of sync, I don't know, with what you see and what the server actually registers. It's just annoying because it's unpredictable. Sometimes you get hit from so far away, other times when you as Doom try to punch someone, you fly, I don't know, 2 kilometers in the air for some reason. I don't really know how it works. STROGG, I like STROGG. I recently started playing STROGG and I'm very happy with the way I managed to learn it. I'm still a little bit wonky when it comes to crouch sliding, because as I said before at Slash, I never really played Slash to crouch slide, and STROGG recently got this movement style, so I just started learning it. But it's fun, it's okay. When you play Doom, he double jumps when you don't mean to haste party. It used to do that when I had a faulty keyboard and my space sometimes like double registered one button press, and then it registered as if I was like double jumping, and then I switched to a new keyboard and then all of a sudden that never happened to me again. So maybe your keyboard is faulty, maybe, or whatever you use jump on, that button might be faulty, I don't know. I don't have that problem. Back to STROGG. The biggest issue with STROGG is if you play against another STROGG in duel, then you can pick up your own health vial when he kills you. You can also pick up your own health vial when you kill yourself. And I don't think that should be possible. You should only be able to pick up the enemy's health vial, and you should never be able to pick up your own. Other than that, STROGG is fine and fun. Death Knight. I don't really know what they should do with that. Oh no, it's gonna be loud. Let me make it look quieter, cause yeah, that's better. Where was I? Death Knight. Yeah, so I don't really know what they should do with Death Knight, but at the moment it's really hard to play him against most champions. So for example, if I play against like a Nyx, as I said earlier, it's almost impossible for me, unless I'm lucky, that I'm not gonna catch him, her. It's just, there's nothing I can do, because she's faster by default, and then on top of that she's more mobile because she can wall jump, and then even if I somehow manage to set her on fire, she can just go invis, and then, you know, she's not gonna be on fire anymore, not even when she comes out of invis. So that knight is like really weak against most champions, and in a best of 5 he can still be okay because then he's like kind of a leftover, and against the other leftover champions he can be still fine, but in general he is like not top tier champion at all. I don't really know what they should do with him. Definitely don't increase the ability damage. That was horrible when he first got introduced to the game. That was just retarded. But I don't really have a suggestion, so no idea about that. Anyway, Aizen is fun. Aizen, I like the way you can like put down a turret and then it can block the bull rush from a SCALEBEARER, because that way, even though Aizen is not a very mobile champion, you still have a way to get away from SCALEBEARER in case he starts to bull rush towards you. The turret is fine. Maybe it should have less health. Maybe it should have like 100 health so that you can destroy it with one rocket. Other than that, it's okay. I don't really mind it. You just have to be aware where it is, and you know, not let the turret interfere when you're fighting your opponent. So just destroy the turret or position yourself in a way that the turret cannot harm you, and then, you know, just get rid of it when you can. Other than that, I don't really mind it. I know that a lot of people think it's a stupid ability and it's annoying and it's unfair and blah 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 blah, and it has like aimbot and all that, but I don't really mind it as much as I encountered it. It's okay. I think it's balanced for the most part. As I said, the only thing I would maybe change, but I'm not even sure about it, is just to make it have less health, but not by much. It still should have some health so that it can deal damage, otherwise it would be a pointless ability. SCALEBEARER is fun. He's okay for the most part. My only issue with him is that whenever I bull rush, my sense is like goes into minus value. I cannot turn when I'm bull rushing. I'm playing perfectly fine, everything works out, and then all I have to do is go into bull rush and hit my opponent, and he's standing in front of me, and he slightly starts like avoiding me, going to the side. I'm saying right, but for you guys it's left. Whatever, point is, he's trying to dodge me, and I know that he's going that way, and I'm trying to bull rush towards him, and I'm turning my mouse, I'm like using up my whole mouse pad, and I cannot for the life of me turn towards him, and I don't know why. I tried moving my mouse slowly, I tried moving it fast, it doesn't fucking matter. When I'm bull rushing, I cannot turn with him, and that's my only issue, but that's big enough an issue that it like completely ruins the champion for me. Because if I don't have an ability with SCALEBEARER, then he's kind of pointless. Not really pointless, but like nerfed to the point where it's just impossible to play with him. So if they had fixed that, I would play SCALEBEARER more often for sure, because he's actually fun and can be very useful on like Peanut, for example. But I don't fucking know how to turn when bull rushing. I can never hit my opponents. Anyway, moving on, Clutch. Well, poor little Clutch has been nerfed so many times, but I don't really have an opinion on him. As I said, he's a really difficult champion, very complex to master. Really hard to play, especially against people with really high accuracy. He can be strong if you play him right, but I don't really know many people who play Clutch to begin with yet like let alone people who play him on a high level. Maybe Wenger and Hron, but as I said before, in QPL they introduced this new rule since QuakeCon that you are no longer allowed to bind the mouse wheel for dashing. So that means that you are forced to dash with like, well, not necessarily left and right, but I mean like WASD, but you cannot use the mouse wheel for dashing anymore. It's not allowed. And so that way, a lot of people who played Clutch that way, they got nerfed. So it's even harder to master Clutch now, because you're more restricted. Anyway, I don't really think they should change anything about him. I think he's fine the way he is right now. Maybe get rid of the mining laser, maybe. Because, you know, if I often use it and it feels unfair. The shield is fine. They should make it though that you can see when you activate the shield, because It's just when you activate the shield, the whole screen goes blue. You can't even see shit. So maybe fix that and then get rid of the mining laser, and then Clutch is okay the way he is right now. Sorleg, if they fix her animation, then she's okay for the most part. It's also really hard to hear her come towards you when she has a lot of momentum, which is also annoying because all of a sudden a tanky lizard jumps in your face and pukes on you and then you just melt away. It's annoying. But if they make it so that you can hear her come and then they fix the AD retarded animation where you can't even see what's happening and she's just glitching left and right, you know, if they fix that, she's an okay champion, I think. KEEL, I like the way they changed it so that, you know, it used to be that because he has the grenade launchers on his shoulders, one grenade came from the left and one from the right, and it would alternate between the two. It was like that like a year ago, but then they changed it so that every time it will come from the middle, and that way it is easier to control the grenades. It's still really hard to hit the grenades sometimes, but it's just better now because it's less random, it's more like predictable, like more calculated. So that way he's okay. He's very slow though, and a big target. And that's an issue, because if you play against a fast champion and that fast champion is in the lead, he's just gonna run and there's nothing you can do about it. You'll never catch him as KEEL. So I don't know, I'm not saying he should be faster. I don't really know what to do about him. But the way he is right now, I don't enjoy playing as him. I used to play him a lot a year ago when he was in the meta. Although then he was a little bit too OP. But now he feels a little bit too nerfed, and it's just really hard to play him because how slow he is. Let's make him crowd slide. No, we already have 2 of those. Don't need more. I still haven't learned how to crouch slide properly, so I don't want another champion with that. Anyway, so that's my opinion about all the champions and their abilities. Kind of a feedback from the Raisy person. Take it with like a little grain of salt, you know. Everyone has their own opinion. Maybe the suggestions I'm making are not perfect, so, you know, don't take it too seriously, but that's my honest opinion about all the champions and all the abilities.
Well, what I'd like to see patched the next update, honestly, most of the champs I think are pretty even. Like, there's obviously some champs that can be played in almost any scenario. Like Ranger, Galena, they can practically be played on any map, but then there's a lot of champs that can be played on, like, what's it called? On like 5 of them, and really it's pretty balanced. The only thing I'd like to see is just like nerf Clutch into the ground. Clutch can, I don't know, it's just not very fun to play against. And the rest, I think Nyx is really, really good right now. Maybe increase her hitbox just a smidge, and that would help it out. She's really, really good.